Morning folks, right, I'm going to have another go at line and wash. I've got one uploading now, a large one, 16 by 12. This is a half sheet of 7.5 by 11. This is on Fabriano 130 studio paper. The tools of the trade, well, I'm going to use a quill for this. But I'll show you first what I'm going to do. Just dip it into the ink. Sometimes the feathers are in the wrong angle. Oh, something like that. Now, you can make the point more pointed, but I'm cutting quite into the feather now. I picked up a load of these off a dead swan up in Workington on the beach up there. We were at a wedding nearby. And I had, for some reason, because I was sketching, I had a Stanley blade, or a craft knife blade, in my my bag I was carrying. Now, my old dear friend Fred Gillespie, who died about 3 months ago, greatly missed, he showed me how to do this. You can bake these in hot sand, but I've never bothered with that. Just put a little slit in. Okay, and then we're going to give you a bit of copper wire. This is what Fred gave me. Showed me how to do this. Cut it, very easy to cut with shears, good scissors. Just push that into there. See the hook? It acts as a spring. And then push it in, and now it acts as a reservoir. Push the reservoir down, and hopefully the ink will stay behind that. So there we are. So I've got another one here. Oh, it's busted, but never mind. I've got quite a bit of this copper. Just a little bit of copper wire. Oops, let's get it. So one end's. Oh no, that's right. That's okay. That's the, you see the shape of it, that's the reservoir. Just push it in and it locks, it pushes back against the inside of the quill. But there are people that know how to do this by baking them, but as I say, I've never really bothered. Let's just get rid of some of these feathers. It's not every day you come across a dead swan on the beach, but it's in such a waste. So I hacked the feathers out and brought them home. I must have had about 20 of them, 20, 30 of them. Let's see what that works like. Take the excess off, and then it's a bit twisted. Okay, right, let's take that off there. I'll go to a simple line and wash. Move that out of the way. I've got a cup of tea here. I might have to stop abruptly to take a phone call. I'll get my mobile out because yesterday we were doing the bike ride along the River Wandle, which we do most weeks. We didn't last week or the week before. It's just too hot and we're old. And I crashed into a barrier. It's to stop motorcyclists going on the paths on foot, which they would do. And we try to go through without stopping, and it's only just wide enough, and my handlebars are pretty wide. And I whacked straight into one of the sides. It's all shaped, it's stainless steel, but my skin's quite thin these days, and it just ripped a load off my elbow. I've just put this on because you wouldn't want to see the bloody patch on top. But I'm hoping to be able to get some more of these from my doctors. Some more of the pad, not the iodine pads, but the covers, which are supposed to stick around. But they don't stick too well because when you take them off, you pull your skin off again. So it's not very good. Anyway, so let's go. And we'll put some trees in. just some odds and ends. It takes a while to dry, but I'll go over it with a bit of tissue paper afterwards and just. Oh, yeah, I was using a wooden. This earlier, I think I might have showed you. This is years old, but it still works. It works better than these, I think. These are a little bit iffy. Well, let's have a bit of a building, bit of a rustic building. Might not put a chimney on it because it could be just a barn. Just to add a little bit of interest to it, and we can put in some of these. That's quite solid there, isn't it? Quite hard. I might go back to the wood, but it just gives you the idea. But so if you ever see, don't go killing swans to get the feathers. That's right. I've had enough of that. Clean it off. Go back to the old stick. Oh look. Oh well, never mind. Never mind. That's just. You've always got to watch what your hands are doing. Some bigger, thicker trees here. It's a nice way of doing it, doing the painting. You go over this with your watercolor. I'm just giving you a sort of demonstration. I've done one. It's the second one today, but I haven't done them for ages. And I got a comment from Phil on YouTube about that he couldn't use a rigger very well on it, which is what I have used in the past. But you can with a bit of practice. It's getting the sharpness of the wood, the shape. It needs to be dead flat on the four sides, so you can explore a bit of dry brush. Now, just got to be careful here. I'll put something over that. I'll add the shape of the canopies of the trees as I go with the can't remember what I was going to say then. Right, let's have a bit of a what you can do when it starts, it stops sort of writing. You can. I'll do that. I'll just to get a bit of smooth sandpaper or equivalent, and just rough it up a bit on the points. So there we are. So that's just cleaned it a bit. Let's see if it works now. Oh, so it works now. Oh. So all I had to do was to get that working. It's a bit of a mess, I know, but I'm going to put the lid on that, and the rest we're going to do in watercolor. So I'll just see, that's what you've got to avoid. Look. There's my toilet paper. Well, I'll just get the final dry, so if you just take your headphones off or mute your sound for a few seconds. Ready? Right, okay, so wet the paper, always do wetting wet. Right, now we'll use a medium hake, if I can find it, in the melee. I don't know what I do with these wretched brushes. Because I go from one thing to another, I've got all my brushes in a muddle on my right hand side, but I don't know where has it gone. Where has it gone? Oh, right, look there, right on my little table. Okay, so we'll put in a bit of raw sienna, some sort of wintry scene. They're the most, well, I reckon they're oh, sorry. Bit of red. Very simple sky. Just go over the foreground of snow scene. And we'll put a couple of clouds in. Winter clouds, so a bit of ultramarine, a bit of Payne's grey. Bit of red. A bit darker in places. Right, that'll do. Now, we've got to wait for that to dry. I just think so we can see. You can use a pen quite easily. I've got a pen. Well, I've got several pens. But I always have the problem of trying to get the ink off because the ink is quite thick, get the ink off of the stylus, off the end of it. I'll show you pens. Pens I have used. One, to a couple of them. They've got reservoirs in them, but they're very good when you get used to them. I'll put them back. I'm not going to use them. Oh, I might use them later if I do 3 of these. Right. Could put a sort of a bit of yellow and a bit of bluey sort of behind. A bit of, that's it. That's just. Okay, so that'll give a bit of distance. We could have a bit of a bush there. Right, well that will dry a lot lighter. I might even change it now. We're going to go into the canopy now, so we want a bit of Payne's grey, a bit of burnt sienna. Right, okay, now we'll put in some of this. It's a very nice day in London, a bit cloudy now, but it was pleasant. Right, now I want to go, I put that bit of a let's warm that up a bit. Oh, I'm just making this up. Let's put some burnt sienna on that middle distance. Touch of Payne's grey. I've lost the house. I'll see if I can rescue it. Now, I haven't done any of these for about 5 or 6 years, I would imagine. I've gone on to all acrylic, the occasional watercolor. Right, so they've got the shapes on there. Right, now then, yes, the roof. I'll get a little hake going. Put some, if that's cottage, well, let's put a red roof on. I'm going to put a Payne's grey for the barn. There we are. So we've managed to lose that. It gives it a bit of interest. Right, I'm going to sign that. I think I don't want to do anything. Well, I can do a bit of texture in the foreground, but that's about all. That's just got a bit of green shine through or whatever. That's about it. It was just rough ground, really, isn't it? Could get a rigger, which we haven't used. Let's just use a bit of Payne's grey. And over your blobs, two little birds. Right, I've got a mount for it. I'll see a bit of tape. Oh, I've got to put the R on. Oh dear. That's it. Right. Now keep them regular where I know this. This was these two brushes are Frank Clark's. I bought the set of 3. I'm not so keen on the large hake, Frank Clark, that one, but it's okay. It's okay for mop. There's a mop. I'll put those two there, and I'll get the mounts. There's that one. Just about does. Just about. So there we are. Just another quick watercolor, line of wash watercolor. Get the camera a bit more level. Right, there we are. Another line of wash, very simple sky. But I like simple skies. They have bags of atmosphere. You leave something for your imagination rather than dobbing out with a tissue, which I've never really enjoyed. I used to do it when I first started watercolour, but it becomes a sort of a technique, like a habit. Right, anyway, thanks for watching, folks. I'll get this one done and I'll see you later. Bye bye.